Hello students, myself Miss Sonali Patil, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Gokhale College, Kolhapur. This is our second lecture on the topic cyclic groups and cosets from Algebra First, paper number 6 from BSc second year. In the last lecture, we have seen definition of cyclic groups, properties of cyclic groups, cyclic subgroups, order of an element of a group and some theorem. Now let's start with the next point, cosets. So definition of cosets, let H be a subgroup of G, let A belongs to G, the set AH is equal to AH such that H belongs to H is called left coset of H in G containing A, and the set HA is equal to HA such that H belongs to H is called right coset of H in G containing A. So here AH means A is getting multiplied with H from left hand side, so AH is called left coset, and HA means A is getting multiplied with H from right hand side, so HA is called right coset. Most of the time we discuss whenever we are doing proof, result or property, by default we are using it without loss of generality. It is a multiplicative group only. But in case we have additive group, we can write right coset as H plus A. A is getting added to H from right hand side, and left coset A plus H. Here A is getting added to H from left hand side. So in case of addition, A plus H is called left coset and H plus A is called right cosets. Okay. So there is some remark. Let H be a subgroup of G. So first HE is equal to HE such that H belongs to H is equal to H such that H belongs to H is equal to H. Similarly EH is equal to H. Thus the subgroup H is a right as well as left cosets itself. Now second, HA of B is equal to H of AB. B of AH is equal to BA of H. Now third one, if G is a abelian group, then HA is equal to AH. Now fourth one, if G is a non-abelian group, then right coset and left coset need not be equal. Okay. So next, there is one theorem. If H is a subgroup of G and A belongs to G, then first HA is equal to X belongs to G such that XA inverse belongs to H, and second AH is equal to X belongs to G such that A inverse X belongs to H. So let's start with the proof. First we consider a set A. So let A is equal to X belongs to G such that XA inverse belongs to H. Now here we can take one element from A. So X belongs to A. This double implication gives XA inverse belongs to H. Here we can apply A inverse from right hand side. Next double implication, XA inverse is equal to H for some H belongs to H. Double implication, X is equal to HA. This A inverse is multiplied by H, so we get HA for some H belongs to H. Now double implication gives X belongs to HA. Now here X belongs to A and we get X belongs to HA. It means A is a subset of HA. Now in reverse way, if X belongs to HA and we get X belongs to A, that is HA is a subset of A. It means A is equal to HA. So that is HA is equal to X belongs to G such that XA inverse belongs to H. Okay. Now next, let A is equal to X belongs to G such that A inverse X belongs to H. Here we can take one element from A, that is X belongs to A. Now this double implication, A inverse X belongs to H. Here we can apply A inverse from left hand side. In double implication, A inverse X is equal to H for some H belongs to H. Now this double implication, X is equal to AH. This A inverse is multiplied by H, so we get AH for some H belongs to H. So this double implication gives X belongs to AH. That is A is a subset of AH. So therefore A is equal to AH. That is AH is equal to X belongs to G such that A inverse X belongs to H. Okay. So next there is one theorem. If H is a subgroup of G and AB belongs to G, then first HA is equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. Second, HA is equal to HB if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. Third one, HA is a subgroup of G if and only if A belongs to H. Okay, so these three theorem we can prove its converse parts also, because here if and only if, so we can prove converse part. So let's start with the proof. So first part, suppose A belongs to H. To prove HA is equal to H. Okay, so let X belongs to H. Then we have A belongs to H, so we can write A inverse is also belongs to H. Okay, so here X belongs to H and A inverse is also belongs to H. So by using closure property we can write X A inverse belongs to H. So this implies that X belongs to AH, that is H is a subset of AH, because X is belongs to H and X is also belongs to AH. So we gives H is a subset of AH. This gives equation number 1. Now if X belongs to AH, then X is equal to AH for some H belongs to H. Now here A is belongs to H and H is also belongs to H. So this implies that AH is also belongs to H. What is the value of AH? Is X. It means X belongs to H. Now here X belongs to AH and X is also belongs to H. So therefore we get AH is a subset of H. This gives equation number 2. Hence from 1 and 2 we get HA is equal to H. Now conversely, suppose HA is equal to H. To prove A belongs to H, we know H is a subgroup, so it contains identity element, so E belongs to H. So therefore A belongs to HA is equal to H, because HA is equal to H, so that is A belongs to H. Okay, so next we can prove second one, HA is equal to HB if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. So suppose HA is equal to HB, so this gives double implication. Here we can apply B inverse from left hand side. So HA of B inverse is equal to HB of B inverse. Now next step, H is equal to AB inverse. Here we can apply associative property. Okay, so this double implication gives H is equal to AB inverse is equal to H of BB inverse. Okay, now next double implication gives H AB inverse is equal to HE. Here we can apply inverse property. Okay, so this next double implication gives H AB inverse is equal to H by using identity property, and this double implication gives AB inverse belongs to H by using first theorem. This is our first theorem, HA is equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. By using this theorem we can write AB inverse belongs to H. Okay, now third one, suppose A belongs to H, this implies that HA is equal to H by using first theorem, but H is a subgroup of G, so therefore HA is also a subgroup of G. Okay, so conversely, suppose HA is a subgroup of G, then E belongs to HA. Thus the right coset HA and HE have one element in common, and hence HA is equal to HE is equal to H. So this implies that A belongs to H by using first theorem. Okay, so next point, congruence. The definition of congruence: let H be a subgroup of G. For AB belongs to G, we say that A is a congruent to B mod H if AB inverse belongs to H. In notational form we write A is congruent to B mod H if AB inverse belongs to H. Okay, so there is one theorem: if H is a subgroup of G, then for all A belongs to G, HA is equal to X belongs to G such that X is congruent to A mod H. Okay, so let's start with the proof. Let X belongs to HA for all A belongs to G, then X is equal to HA for some H belongs to H. So this implies that XA inverse is equal to H. This A multiplied X by A inverse, so we get XA inverse is equal to H for some H belongs to H. So this implies that XA inverse belongs to H. So this implies that X is congruent to A mod H by using this definition. Okay, so we get X is congruent to A mod H. Okay. So next there is one theorem. If H is a subgroup of G, then there exists a 1-to-1 correspondence between any two right or left cosets of H in G. 1-to-1 correspondence means a function satisfies three conditions, that is f is well defined, 1, 1 and onto. If these three conditions are hold in f, then we can say this function is 1-to-1 correspondence. Okay. So let's start with the proof. Let HA, HB be any two right cosets of H in G. So define a mapping f from HA to HB such that f of HA is equal to HB. Here we can define a function f from HA to HB. F of HA is equal to HB. Okay. So then H1A is equal to H2A is equal to H1 is equal to H2. So this implies that H1B is equal to H2B. So this implies that f of H1A is equal to f of H2A by using this definition of function. So that is f is well defined. Now f of H1A is equal to f of H2A. This implies that H1B is equal to H2B by using this definition, and this implies that H1 is equal to H2, and this implies that H1A is equal to H2A. This shows that f is a 1, 1. Again, as for any HB belongs to HB, we have HB is equal to f of HA, that is HA would give pre-image of HB. This shows that f is onto. Therefore, there exists 1-to-1 correspondence between any two left or right cosets of H in G. Okay. So thank you. Here we end with the topic. Thank you for listening. Thank you.